So we are going to record the meeting, of course, for you to be able to review it later. So just accept the terms, of course. But good morning, guys, from all over Kenya, from wherever you are. Most welcome to today's session as we continue with web development. And thank you for joining us. Thank you for creating time to join the web development session. And we are really going to progress from where we stopped from. So in the previous sessions, we were able to discuss a couple of elements in web development. We were able to even attach images, and we were able to even interact with our director, executive director. Today we have our deputy director with us. So I'm super excited that you are also going to meet her today and just interact with her either in the chat or here on the meeting. I'm super excited about that. So she's very passionate about mentoring other women, and she's been doing this uh, mentoring other women and even gentlemen, and he's been doing this for a long time, and he is an expert web developer. So that is one thing I just wanted to announce to make you aware. Please wait for that as we start the session today. And as we progress, keep on trying. I would really encourage you. One thing I really learned, one thing one of my mentors said is that you might have the will, you might be given all the resources to learn and all the opportunities, but it is up to you to grab them and make a difference with them. So with these classes, just make sure that you have or you grab as much as you can. Make sure that you are able to just literally gain a lot out of these classes, because with this you can be able to create web applications. You can be able to even create opportunities to employ, to create jobs for yourselves. You can even create jobs for your startups. So I would really want to encourage you guys that you can do it if you utilize these opportunities really well. So I want to encourage you, because in our previous programs, we have a couple of our students or our alumni uh, getting into lucrative opportunities. And that is really inspiring. It means that they've grabbed whatever they can, created solutions with it, and just be able to go with it and make a difference with it. So it is up to you guys. It is totally up to you. We give this for free, but it is up to you to make the best out of it. But we are here to support. We are here to support. The aim of this program, of course, is for you to build applications or to build solutions that will impact your community in the areas of health, economy, democracy, and security. So we will be able to guide you through the ideation process in the coming weeks. You will be able to to come up with ideas, and then we will help you refine the ideas, and then you can be able to create these solutions and have something out of it. So other than that, that is not the only thing that we will be doing. We really know that acquiring skills during this time is really important. So we want to encourage you guys, because in the coming months, we will have a platform called the 21st Skills platform. And in this platform, it is one of the leading platforms that offer online technology courses in Africa. And it is called the 21st Skills Africa. You can be we at Pwani Techno Girls have are in partnership with them so that you can be able to gain these skills, certified skills. And these are skills in, let's say, artificial intelligence. They're skills in artificial intelligence, and then software development using Python programming, and also a data science. So we will look at which skills we would want you to begin with, and then walk with you throughout that journey, maybe of the first certification. And then from there, where you can learn the other ones at your own pace, because at least you'll be familiar with this. But we really encourage you to just do your best and learn from the 21st Skills platform, because you will gain the skills and the certification as well. So you will not only have the certification of the Coders at American Spaces Kenya by Pwani Techno Girls and the American Embassy, but you will also have a certification by the 21st Skills Africa after you acquire these skills and be able to create something out of it. Awesome, guys. So let's begin. So we stopped, let me share my screen. Just a second. Yeah. So we were able to stop at, let me share. Yes. Fantastic. I think there might be a question. Let me see. Okay. So if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments. But in the last session, let me come to the, yeah, here we go. In the last session, we were able to discuss a couple of elements, or we were able to discuss HTML. And with HTML, you can be able to really, we learned about tags in HTML. And with HTML, you can really be able to create websites. So one thing I really insisted in the previous session is images. You are able to link images, and you are able to also learn some self-closing tags like BR, which is a self-closing tag. And we also introduced what we call HTML attributes. And one thing I want to emphasize about HTML attributes is that with attributes, you can be able to create, it is like a leading path towards us learning cascading style sheets, or CSS, okay? So bear in mind about attributes, because in attributes in HTML are the basis that led to CSS, or cascading style sheets, for you to style HTML elements. So we were able to look at anchor tags, okay? We were able to look at anchor tags and how you can create a link. And we were able to create images. We're able to create images and link images, either from a link. Of course, I do not encourage this, because what if that website is down? How will you be able to find that image? I prefer that you download images that are free for you to use, or take a picture of your image and copy it and paste it, rename it in a way that you can use it in your website. So uh, that is one way I really recommend, that you have local files in your website. So other than that, let us proceed and look at other elements. So before, I know we learned about comments. So there is one thing I really want us to learn, and it's called lists. Today, I want us to do a couple of elements in HTML called lists, and then we will look at forms, and also we are going to look at tables, and then we will introduce CSS and try a bit of a cascading style sheet so that you understand what this CSS is. But I really encourage you guys that after this session, please try this out, and let me know, let us know in the group. We have also Miss Aisha from our deputy director, our director, Miss Ruth. They are always in the group. When you post something, we will always see and respond. So please try this out and share with us. We really look forward to seeing that from you. Great. Now, other than images, now let us look at lists. So open your Sublime. When you open your Sublime text, it will open from where you left from, but maybe if you've been doing some playing around with it, which is awesome, just click on File, then open Folder, and then open where we stopped at. We stopped, I think we saved, mine I called the folder Coders, but you might have called yours a different name. So make sure that you open that, and it will open in the Sublime text, and then we can continue from where we stopped from. Now, after that, after the second image, I'll just add a comment so that we can be able to proceed. And I can see, let me put a comment. I hope you guys can remember how to write comments. That is how you open comments, like that, and then say lists. And then I close the comment. maybe let me just close the comments like this and then say end of lists like that. Yes, so that I put my code in between. Okay, it is a good practice to be writing comments when you're writing your source code. Okay, so in HTML, there are two types of lists. One is called an ordered list. Okay, an ordered list. What do we mean by an ordered list? You don't want your list to be of any particular order. You just want to have a list of items. And with this, you can, in the normal scenario, let's say in Microsoft Word, it is a situation in which you can use lists in bullets or in points, okay? Bullets or points. So you don't want your list to be in a specific order, but you want to have a list. We call that an unordered list. An example of a scenario in which you guys often use an unordered list. Um, I think shopping, though some of you number them, but shopping, when you're writing a shopping list, you don't know, for example, where you will get a particular item from a specific aisle, but you just want to make sure that you have a list ready so that whenever you have it, you check whatever you have you've gotten, you check it off the list. So how do we write the unordered list? So let's say we are creating a shopping list. So I'll just put a H3 opening tag. It's a heading 3 opening tag, and then say unordered, unordered, unordered lists like that. Then inside the after H3, we are going to put a UL, because UL in HTML means an ordered list. The moment I type UL, and you can be able to see UL is one of the HTML tags, you can either click on that pop-up, or let me undo, or you can press enter. It will autocomplete for you. It will open and close the tag for you. Because in HTML, make sure that when you open the tag, close it. So after you've opened this UL, unordered list, okay? Unordered list, press enter. Inside the unordered list, we have what we call list items, or LI. I'll press enter like that. So for example, I want to buy sugar like that. And then LI again, salt, and then LI, cocoa, just some household items. LI, I can say detergent. I don't know who writes detergent in their shopping. Let me add the last item, LI. I don't know. Soap is a detergent. So let me say, let's say toilet rolls. Yeah. So let's say you're going to do some shopping, and this is the list that you have created. So okay, so this is how you do, or this is how you type the unordered list. This is how you type the unordered list. You make sure that you have, you use LI, list items, but the unordered list is, the list items is nested inside the unordered list. The moment you're typing list, you have to make sure that you are nesting the items, like the list items inside the unordered list. You have to make sure that you're nesting these list items inside the unordered list. So it is really important for you to be able to know that, because in HTML, you'll find that there are some elements in which they have to be inside other elements. Great. So I will save that and then open in the browser. Open in the browser. Great. So as I scroll down, you can be able to see an ordered list: sugar, salt, cocoa, detergent, toilet rolls. So this is how you write an unordered list. And there are several ways in which you can also change the stylings of this, but we will look at that later. Anyway, other than an ordered list, we have what we called ordered lists. Okay? So I will just introduce a heading here, H3, and call this ordered lists. Ordered lists. And then OL, okay? OL is the tag for you to create ordered lists. Then you press enter, and then you use the same list items, okay? The list items. For example, this time, I don't know, I think maybe we can write days of the week. Sometimes we number them. So I can say Monday. At least that one I won't be able to guess. Then LI, Tuesday. LI, Wednesday. Then Thursday. If you have any question, please feel free to ask as we go along. Then LI, Friday. Fantastic. So when I save this and go back to my browser and refresh, you'll be able to see that we have ordered list and it is in it is numbered, okay? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So it is numbered. So another thing I would like to mention about the ordered list, and which you can research also as you go along, is you can change the styling of the ordered list. If I type here, if I use type as an attribute and then use A, okay, small a. If I save this, I come and refresh in the browser, it will be ordered alphabetically. It will be ordered alphabetically. Instead of 1, 2, 3, it will be ordered alphabetically. If I, for example, change it to capital A, it will be numbering it alphabetically, but using capital letters. Of course, we have also Roman numbering. I can use I. When I just put I, it will be able to know that this is a list that is of Roman numbering. Additionally, you can also put capital I, okay? Capital I, it will be able to know that, yeah, this is of Roman numbering in capitalized. But you can put anything in this type kindly. For example, if I put X, I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know if there is a numbering called X. It's not there, so it will just be by default the normal numbering. So the only three ways in which you can number your list, either alphabetically or using Roman numbers, or using the integers, the normal numbering, of which it is the one which is showcased by default. And we are done with lists. Very simple. Great. Now I'm going to dive into tables, okay? Tables in HTML. And of course, tables are a way in which you can position your items in rows and columns. It's really one of the important aspects in HTML. But there are a couple of other aspects in HTML that you guys it would be really awesome that you try and explore on your own as we progress. We will be able to share this with you as we go along. Now, I'll write a comment. Tables. That's not how you write a comment. Yes, tables. Okay. I think one of ours, one of our one of our friends is lost. Let me just share with you the link. They share with him the link, and then we can continue. Yes, fantastic. Okay, let's continue. Tables. So I've opened the table, and then let me end the tag. End of tables, like that. Now, tables, HTML, very simple. You open the table tag like that. That's how you create table. A table has been created. But in HTML tables, HTML is one of the nested tables in which you can be able to create elements uh, that are nested as well, the same as ordered list and unordered list. So in tables, how do you define tables? You start by creating rows, the horizontal ones, okay? You start by creating rows in the horizontal way, and then populate data. Another row, populate data. That's how you create tables. You don't create tables by putting columns, but only rows and populate data. So how do we create tables, or how do we put the table row? It is by using the TR element or the TR tag. So when I click on TR, inside TR, that's when I'm going to put my table data. So I'll put my table data like that, TD, and then let's say we want to create a table that will have first name, last name, and email. So I will start with a first name, okay? First name. And then after you put the table, after you've put the first name, you come here and you press enter, TD, like that. And then you put last name. And then finally, we put the third column in the item called, let's put age this time, TD, age. Okay, so this will be a table with 3 columns because we have the first row and it has 3 columns. Okay, now after you're done with that, you create another row, TR. You use TR as a tag. Then inside you nest, you put table data. Okay, when I sit here saying my voice is breaking, is anyone else experiencing that? Let me know, guys. Okay, some are saying it's clear. I think maybe it is your network. If you feel that the voice is breaking, I think it is your network. Kindly check your network. Yeah, you can try rejoining it. Thank you guys for confirming. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. So we can continue adding the table data like that. And then for example, let's use an example of a name. For example, let's say we can say the first name is Asha. Asha, okay? And then the last name, TD, the last name can be Mohammed, okay? And then age, TD, age can be 56, okay? So this is the second row. First name Asha, second name Mohammed, the second name Mohammed, the age 56. Then we can add another row. Let's add 2 more people. Let's add 2 more people. Not TD, sorry. You start with the table row first. So after we put the table row, we come and add TD, okay? Table data. So the second person that I want us to add can be John, and then TD, we can say John Kemboi, and then age TD, we put 20. Okay, then let's add the last person, TR. We can say inside TR, you come and then put TD, and then inside the first, the table row, we start with not Jen. I think we can use Mary, and then we can put TD again, Wangeshi, and then age, TD, we can put 32. Yes, and save this. Now, in this table, you'll be able to see that you have, of course, first name, last name, age is the first row, then the another table row with this table data. This is a table with how many rows and columns? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, and then 3 columns. So when I save this and come and refresh in my browser, and then of course scroll down, you'll be able to see that like a small table has been created down here. We have a table down here that has been created and contains this data. So it is just a basic table that looks like this, but I might want to style it a bit further. So how do we do that? How do we style the table some more? So it is by adding what we call attributes. So the first attribute you can add is a style, okay? And then you can say width, a style, then you say width or width. I don't know how to articulate that term better, but width, we can say width 100%, so that it occupies the width of the entire width of of our machines, or the entire width of the screen, of any screen that you're running your table with. Then other than with a 100%, we can add, let's add what we call, I think we can add not style, we can add a border, okay? We can add some border, and then border you can just put one, depending on the thickness of how you want your border to look like. So after you're done with that, and then you save, or when you're done with the border and then you save, you can come and refresh in your browser. You will be able to see that the table has expanded. And then there is that border that has been added, okay? There is a border that has been added. Let me try clear the, I think there is, just a minute. Okay, okay, sawa sawa. Okay, great. So that is how it looks like. I think someone was drawing and I didn't know how to, yeah, clear. Let me, oh, I have found it, clear all drawings. Oh, awesome. Fantastic. Now, with this, you can be able to create tables. And tables, of course, you can populate your data in rows and columns. Very simple. So always remember that in tables, I can even put a heading here. Let me put a H3. You can just come back here at the top and put a H3 and say tables. So we are going to learn more about tables, especially in the upcoming sessions of Bootstrap. But for now, just be able to understand that tables, you can populate your data in rows and columns. In case you want your table to have, let's say, four columns, you extend it from this end. Make sure that you extend it from this end. You can add, for example, you want to have an email column, you can add. So this is how you create tables. You open the table tag, then you start by populating rows. So you create a table row. Then inside table row, you put table data, depending on the number of columns that you need, table data, depending on the number of columns that you need. But table is also one of the nested elements in HTML. Fantastic. So other than tables, I said we are going to look at forms, okay? Please feel free to ask any question if you have any. But HTML is one thing I will really encourage and say that it is one of the easiest entry points, towards coding, because with this, it is just a matter of you following the rules. And with these rules, you can just be able to use them, to follow. As long as you know what element you want to create, you just follow the rules. Great. So let us create a form. So after tables, I'll just come, press enter, create a comment, and then say forms. End that comment like this, end of forms. Fantastic. Now, in these forms are ways in which you can have what we call user inputs. User inputs, okay? You can have user inputs using a form. And it's really important because even as you guys log into a particular, even in this meeting, before you logged into the meeting, there might be maybe a place in which you inputted the meeting code. When you log into, let's say, a particular portal, you are required to put in some credentials, or you want to collect some user data, you will need to use a form in one way or another. So how do we create forms in HTML? Simple. Of course, we use what we call the form tag, okay? The HTML form tag. Okay, so let us create the form like that. The moment you open form like that, you can be able to create the form tag. So other than when you open the form like that, you will be able you'll be able to input some data. So let me put the H3 first on top so that I can say forms. Okay. Now with forms, there are a couple of elements that you're supposed to put inside the form. So you'll come inside the form, of course, and let's put the elements inside the form. Now, the first element that you're going to put is what we call label, okay? Label. Label, when you put a label, of course, it will close, and then you will come inside the label, the opening tag, and add attributes of that label. So the label, you can say the first attribute is for, okay? For, and then we can say first name or F name for us to make it easier. So we say label for F name. Great. And then inside here, we can say first name like that and put a full colon. Then after this, you create a BR tag like that, so that it breaks to a new line. So after you've created a label is just to indicate the user that you're going to input first name in the following input. Now, after that, you're going to create what we call a text box, or a place where a user can be able to input some details. And here, we're also going to introduce what we call a self-closing tag. So because we introduced self-closing tags last week, we saw that you are able to see break as a self-closing tag. You're able to see also a HR. I don't know if I was able to show you guys HR, but that is fine. HR is one of the closing tags. But this closing tag that I'm going to introduce here is called input, okay? Input. So you open input like that. As you can see, it does not require, sorry, apologies for that. It does not require it does not close itself, as you can see. So input, we can say for input type, we can say text, because we are going to put text. Then for the input name, you can just say F name, okay? Input text, F name. Then there is one thing you can add, ID, like that. ID is really also important, because you can be able to, for example, you're creating a form and you want to use a backend for you to be able to capture user data. You have to use what we call ID. So I'll just put ID as F name again, and then I'll also add the last attribute called value, okay? Value. And then value, I can say John. So value, this way I've inputted the value directly, but you can be able to input values from the form. Like you can be able to capture user value from the form. But right now I've just inputted the value there. Then I'll add break tag again. Okay, and then add another label. It's very similar to the top one, so don't usishangai. It's very similar to the top one. You add another label like that. So Wendy, you're asking what is ID for? Oh, that's a great question, Wendy. ID, it is when, for example, you want to populate or want to use backend to capture form, because this form, of course, cannot capture any value. We're just creating a user interface, okay? We are just creating a user interface for us to understand how you can create HTML forms. But when we dive into more practicality and or even including backend in a way that you can capture form data, you will have to incorporate, let's say, a server code, and the one that we can use is either PHP or JavaScript. So having that, you have to have an ID of that input type. You have to have an ID of that input type so that you can be able to call that ID in your backend. Okay, so that is the importance of us having an ID when we are creating a form. Sawa sawa. So let me know if I've answered your question, Wendy. Great. Then other than this, oh, awesome. Thank you, Wendy. Awesome. Other than this, now we can create the second label. We can create the second label. So Mwanasiti, you're saying I repeat. Kindly let me know what I should repeat so that I repeat for you. Please let me know. Is it about the IDs or the form? Oh, an ID. An ID is it's very important when you implement backend if you're using the form, okay? If you want to use a form, of course, right now we are only creating user interfaces, okay? We're only using creating user interfaces, so you won't see how an ID is used. But as we progress and create backend code, you'll be able to see that ID is really important because you will use it to make sure that you populate you capture user data and even, let's say, do what we call form validation. There are a couple of things that you can be able to do in the backend. So just to mention, having an ID is really important when you're having a form because you can be able to use this in the backend when you are implementing the backend. For now, you won't be able to see it, but as we progress, you'll be able to see how important it is. Awesome. Now, let's create the second label. We can come inside the label, give it an attribute again, for, and then put L name. And then we can put the label here, last name. Last name. And then after we've put the element last name, we can come here and then add a break tag, of course, BR. And then we create another input. It's very similar to what we're using. So the input type is text, name, L name, then ID, L name, ID, L name, then value, we can say Mzuri, John Mzuri. I don't know if there is someone called name Mzuri, but I know there are. Then we can add now two breaks because we want to add another input value that will represent a button. So how do you create a button, a button for you to submit some elements, or a button for you to submit a form element? You create what we call input, okay? So type will be submit. Okay, then the name, you can put name submit as well. Then value is the text that will appear there, submit, or you can say send. Yeah, like that. And then you can save this and come and refresh in your browser. So what do we have in the form? We have a label for first name, then the breaking tag, and then the input. Input is a self-closing tag. Input of type, text, name, these are attributes. And then we have L name as a label, then input again, and then the submit, okay? The submit button, which is also an input of type submit. So if I come and refresh in my browser, you will be able to see that we have a small form down here that has a first name, last name, and submit a button here. And those are the values that we are putting, of which you can delete and be able to put your own. Okay. Yeah. So this is how you create forms. Of course, more form creation and stylings we shall learn as we progress with Bootstrap. Okay, which is a framework in which you can be able to create front end sites with it. So any questions? Any questions? Mhm. So what I can say is we've come a long way with HTML, and we'll be able to share with you links that links in which you can explore more. The HTML elements, other HTML elements, you can be able to find them, to find other HTML elements. For example, we have quotes. There are other upcoming HTML elements that you will find as we go along that I've not mentioned, and they will be invented as we go along. So that is just one thing I would like to say, because HTML is also one of the growing scripting languages. So let me see if we have any question. Oh, sorry. So you're saying, Valerie, please scroll down and finish the last part. Okay. So Aisha, you're saying, Aisha Musa, why didn't you submit the ID? Oh, so the submit section doesn't require an ID. As long as you have indicated that is of input type submit, it does not require an ID, because it is automatically, it will automatic. It's like a rule in HTML. It will automatically uh, be recognized as as a submit button. So as you guys are coding that, I'm really happy that some of you are working on it. That is awesome. Other HTML elements that maybe I've not been able to mention. What are they? I think there are some which I don't know who can use them. HTML emojis. I don't think we need that right now, but you can try that. We will share with you links in which you can be able to try that. With emojis, you have to really understand exactly what you are, exactly what emoji you have, and it has a particular, what do we call? It has a particular specific, it has a specific numbers in which you can input. So we'll share with that a link. So another thing I really want us to have a look at is also the HTML media. And we'll be able to share with you this as we go along. With HTML media, you can be able to embed YouTube videos. You can be able to embed IMEO videos, or I don't know, it's called IMEO videos. So how do you embed? It's really simple. You don't need to even start by putting the iframe. I'll just mention this and then we'll share with you as we go along. For example, if I come, let me go to Pwani Techno Girls website. I think we have some YouTube videos that we can look at, and then we can just have a look. Oh, so while that is loading, let me come back to, yeah, media, video features. Fantastic. So as you can see, even in Polytechno Girls' website, you are able to see that this these are links. These are links to our YouTube videos that you've just embedded. I don't know why it's taking quite some time to load, but yeah, these are links towards the YouTube channel. So for example, let me make sure that I've been able to open this on YouTube. Yes. Fantastic. Let me just open it on YouTube. And with YouTube, actually, YouTube knows that you can be able to embed videos, okay? You can be able to embed videos. So, for example, this is the video that you want to embed. You'll just right click on the video and then you click on copy embed code like that. Copy embed code. There, copy embed code. And then you'll come to your HTML and then you can paste it. For example, I won't try to comment for this, but I'll just paste. So it already knows that you can be able to embed the video. So embedding videos, you use what we call iframe, okay? An iframe HTML, an iframe HTML element or HTML tag. And as you can see, it has already embedded for you in terms of the width and height, but this one you can change. You can even say the width to be 100%. You can change these values, okay? And then you can be able to see that YouTube has been able to embed this for you. When I save this, I come to my browser and refresh. Where is it? Yeah, refresh. When I refresh and scroll down, you'll be able to see that a YouTube video has been embedded with the width and height of my liking. Okay, so this is one ways we can be able to share with you links in which you can add this, and you can even add controls to these videos as you go along. So there are so many HTML elements that you can be able to add. Other than that, for example, if you just have a multimedia that you want to add, for example, you want to add an MPEG video, or you want to use, let's say you want to use an MP3 audio, you can be able to use HTML elements to capture that. For example, if you have an audio in a video in your machine, you can be able to use the video tag, okay? The video tag. So I don't have a video, but I'll just demonstrate and assume that we have a video somewhere here, but we can get a free video. Let me just get that before maybe we dive into CSS and try that out. So for example, I can go to Pixabay. Pixabay actually has free videos, and let me download one as we go along. I just want us to experiment one video. I like food a lot. So let me type food, and then I will click here on videos. Here, videos. There is one video that I particularly like, but let's see. Hmm. It is, I don't know. There are some people here who are vegans, so let me not destroy the. Yeah, I think, for example, this is one of my favorites. So you can be able to also download videos on Pixabay, that free site that I was telling you about. So let me download the video. Okay, let me download the video. Wow, it really looks amazing. Okay, so let me save file. And then let me save in the folder. So here we have a folder called images. I'll just create a new folder called video, like that. And then open, I can say food one. And as you can see, it is MPEG. So it's really important. For example, you have videos. Someone has told you to create a website and they have a video file. You can either upload it on YouTube, of which I would really highly recommend. You can upload it on YouTube and then put a link. But if you want, for example, you have a server space, you can make sure that you have uploaded it in your server. The only problem, of course, with videos is the size. But in case you have a video, I always recommend that you upload on YouTube and then you use that video. So how do we put the video, or how do we put the video tag? You use what we call video as a HTML element, video, HTML tag. Then, of course, you can give it a width and height. Let's give it a width of, let's say, let me say 700, like that. Let me leave it at width alone. And then I can give it what we call controls, because you would want maybe to forward and move and rewind and so on. So you can just write controls like that. Just write controls like that. So maybe you can write this tag. If you're following with me, just write these tags and then you can download video later. Then inside the video, we have what we call source. Then for the source, SRC, we all know what SRC means. And it is the same with images. You're going to link the video the same way you are linking images. And when I expand, you can be able to see that I have food1.mp4. So I'll write that exactly as I've written there, food1.mp4. And then we can say type. We can come to type. You have to indicate the type of the video. So you can say video /MP4. There are different types of videos. Of course, we have, I mean, MOGG. There's different types of videos depending on the fonts that you have and things like that. Okay, so when you write that, you can be able to populate or be able to showcase your video. So when I save this, actually I've linked the video wrongly. It is in the video folder, then /food1.mp4. So when I save this, I come and refresh in my browser. Let me refresh in my browser. Yes, and you can be able to see we have a video which has controls. It has controls. I can be able to pause. I can be able to play again. I can be able to maximize to full screen. Wow. Think so. If you haven't eaten breakfast, I'm so sorry. So yes, this is how you do. You create videos in HTML. Wow. So you can use the same to create audio. So we'll share with you assignments on where to read about this and try this out. This time we will share with you an assignment. Okay. So let me see if we have a question. Our deputy director has said she's taken breakfast. So it means that the rest of you, people like me, when we see this video, we are just hungry. So if we are in the same boat, pole sana. Tutiane moyo. Okay, so with videos, of course, you can be able to do anything with it. And even with these videos, you can put them as background and have some text here on top. We will dive into that exciting part when we are going to discuss CSS. Okay? So uh, I just want us to take a moment and have a recap about how you write HTML, and then I will introduce CSS and stop there. Then in the next session, we will write CSS code, okay? We will do some CSS code. So in HTML is very simple. The moment I create a file, like this, uh, just a second. Just a second, guys. Yeah, the moment I create a new file like this, how do you create a new file? I can control N, okay? The moment I create a new file like this, and then I click File, and then Save As. And then I save this as a HTML document. How do I save as HTML document? I'll click on about.html like that. For example, I'm saving that as about.html. The moment I've saved like this, I have already in one way declared that this is a HTML document. That is one thing I would really want you guys to always remember. Always remember that I've declared this as a HTML document. So the moment I come to this editor and then type HTML, it will autocomplete most parts for me, because a HTML document has to have a head and has to have a body. Head is where the title will be and the meta tags will be. And then body is where everything else is going to be displayed. Okay? And then in head, of course, you can add title, but we have other elements in which it's very important for us to understand, because we will put what we call CSS and other meta tags we will discuss in the next session. But having head or having a body in the body section, that is where HTML elements come in. We have elements which are nested. For example, a table element has to be nested. A table element has to have some nested elements. Those elements that are inside table, you can't just put them anywhere. You have to nest them inside a table. Same with an ordered list. Same with ordered list. We are also going to create what we call other nested elements in which we will be able to group our elements. Why am I mentioning this? It is because, for example, if I come to Pwani Techno Girls' website, let me just click on the home page. When I come to this website, you'll be able to see that this website has different sections. And I recommend that you code your website this way. So we have different sections. We have the top section here that has banners with sliding images. And then after that, we have this section here. We can, let's say, call this, I mean, I don't know how we can call this section, but you can give it any name. You're free to give it any name. And then we have who we are section. We have gallery section. So it is really important that you group your code this way. And there are two ways in which you group your code this way. First of all,